Hey guys, what's going on? It's GrawvyRobber here again. I haven't made a video in quite a while. I apologize. I have recently moved, but hopefully I'll be getting back into that. But yeah, here's another video. I've read a lot of the comments. People have been asking me about brush settings. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about brushes that I mainly use and what the actual settings are. A lot of people think that they need to have a lot of complicated technical brushes that will improve their paintings, but realistically that's not the fact. I use even just the default round brushes. They tend to be my more favored ones. I'll go ahead here and show you. Depending on which Photoshop you have, your default brushes can change with the settings and whatnot, but hopefully most of you guys trying to digital paint I would hope, are using some sort of tablet. I'm using a Wacom Intuos 4 tablet, so it does have pen sensitivity. So with mine, depending on how hard I'm pushing, it can affect the actual opacity of my brush. So the harder I press, obviously the darker it'll get, which is something that I really have to have when I'm digital painting. That's how I go about blending. If I press really lightly, and then I color pick and then go back over, and then I can press harder, get some transparent. But so the main default brush I use is this guy right here. I don't even know if it has a name specifically, but it's the one with a fixed width, because you can change it so that the lighter you press, the skinnier it will be, the smaller the brush size, and then the harder I press, the more full it gets. But what you see with this one here that hasn't been changed is this this spacing is kind of weird, where you get those bumps. I always change that with my brushes. So I will show you what this current brush is set to under here, the little brush setting. So just a size, hardness, and then the spacing is set to 9%. And that's just if you click this brush tip shape. That actually is its own little setting up there. Usually I do a little bit. You can set it to 0, either way. And then I have under transfer, opacity jitter. I have it set to 0, but then I have the control as pen pressure. So my pen pressure actually defines the opacity jitter. And then flow jitter off with that one, which, I mean, you can do that for some cool brushes, like if you're doing like a texture, you can crank that up and have it jump around. And then I do have smoothing on also, and that's just for that basic brush. Like I said, for this one here with a different size, under shape dynamics, it's size jitter, and then pen pressure. You can change that depending on how hard you're pressing. Some tablets are a little bit more sensitive. With mine, it's double the sensitivity of the base model Wacom. It is a step up, but usually it's not too much of a difference. Most of my brushes come from a few different packs that I just found across the web, and I'd delete some, I'd keep some. I don't even use all these. It's just nice to have, just in case I want to try something new or throw a weird texture on. I'll look for like technology brushes or whatever it's called, a few environment packs and stuff. The main pack that I use is from the digital painter Darken, Daarken. I'll put a link in the description. On his website, he has his brushes that you can download for free, and I'll definitely show you guys those in the description. But I do use some of like these shape brushes, which you can make yourself. I'll create another tutorial on how to specifically make brushes. But these hard-shaped ones are really nice. Well, that one's one of the textured ones. Because you can make hard edges and get some weird shapes, which is nice once in a while, depending on what you're painting. I have a lot of brushes right now. It's kind of a pain. I need to go through and organize them again. Here's one of my other favorites. I think this is the ones in the Darken pack. It's just, what is that, like 10 different little dots, but when you create it, it creates a nice stroke and kind of changes depending on the direction that you go. You can, depending on your tablet, you can have settings where the direction of your pen will affect what the lines will look like. I usually have that off just because I haven't really used it too much and I feel like it'd be a pain to get used to, but I'm sure someday I'll get into that. A few of the brushes that you guys saw in some of the environment ones that you're asking about might have been one of these like cloud ones. Just look for like these smoky brushes. They're actually very nice for clouds, adding atmosphere. I just kind of, if I need to push something into the background, if a building looks like it's too close, I'll grab some of the sky and then push it back, add some atmosphere in front of it. Let me see here. Hope I didn't delete it. There's one brush specifically that is one of my favored brushes. I'm not seeing it. Might have accidentally deleted it. Let's go to the bottom here. My MacBook's a little bit slower than my iMac that I'm usually on. I haven't used this guy in a while, but it does record better. Some texture brushes. Okay, here, this brush right here is one of my favorite. Just because if I press lightly with this, you'll find this one in the Darken pack. If you press lightly with it, you get some really nice textures that you can throw around using in like rocks, mountains, basically everything. I use this brush all the time, and when you press really hard, it just has a nice hard edge on every side. And it has a nice just paintbrush effect to it. I'll definitely, like I said, this one's in that Darken pack, and I'll put that in the description. A brush that I love to use, and I use almost on every painting that I have, right there with the default brushes. And then some tree brushes, just some random textures. I usually don't mess around too much with them. Maybe I'll throw in like a plant one once in a while. I try not to overdo it with too many different brushes. It is nice to have a variety once in a while, but I mainly just stick with the default ones and a few of the ones that I just showed you. If you guys have any more questions, always ask, always post comments. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I'm trying to stay more active with my YouTube now. I'll be posting a lot more videos very shortly, but I hopefully I covered most of your questions. Let me know if you guys think of anything else. Thanks for watching, and be tuned for more videos coming soon.